Good evening, everyone. Myself, Harshit Jain, and currently I'm pursuing BTech in CSE, and right now I'm in my third year. Okay, so basically in this session I'll be discussing about Hacktoberfest, and I'll be telling you like how one can fork and clone and can contribute in public repositories. Okay, so I guess most of the people are not aware of like what is Hacktoberfest. So Hacktoberfest is a festival, we can say, for developing community. Like the one who is developer can contribute to some public repositories or to some public projects. Okay, so this is a festival which is celebrated in month of October every year. So like whether you are a developer or whether student learning to code or any types of developer, they can contribute or they can increase the power of open source activities. Okay, so Hacktoberfest is the festival where you can contribute in other public repositories. So there are certain rules which you need to follow in Hacktoberfest. Rule number one in terms of true developer, that don't include readme file or don't edit readme file as a contributor. Okay, so these are nothing but fake contributors. Okay, so suppose like if you are contributing, try to contribute some parts of code, like in case of any form or in case of any HTML page, try to add some attributes or properties instead of adding readme files or removing semicolons, adding commas, renaming variable name. Okay, so while participating in Hacktoberfest, there will be a moderator who are going to check whether your contribution is valid or not. So contribution means anyone can contribute in public repositories, in any repositories. Okay, so I guess up to this, you have clearly known like what is Hacktoberfest or how like who are the contributors and what are the roles of contributors. Like till it any doubt is there?
Doubt about what is repository and all. So
Okay, okay. Yeah. I'm going to explain everything about repositories, about basic of Gits in this session. So this will help you to earn a T-shirt. Like if you are going to contribute maximum 4 times or more than 4 times, then you are going to get stickers, goodies from the one who are organizing Hacktoberfest. Okay, so no need to worry. Like I'll be completing everything regarding basics of Git. Okay, so my first question to everyone is like why we need Git. Yeah, anyone can say like why we need Git. You can type in this comment box also, no problem, but I want to know that if you have any idea regarding what is Git or why we need Git, so you can share your ideas, because I want to make it more interactive rather than one side way. Okay, I guess, yeah, anyone can say like what is Git or okay, leave, I'll explain. So basically, Git is a software tool, and with the help of this tool, you can keep track of your files. Suppose you are creating a project and you want that your project should be tracked. Every movement in the project should be tracked, whether you are editing something, whether you are adding some functions, etc. So Git is a software tool that provides you these types of facilities. Okay, and the next term is GitHub. So GitHub is nothing but it's a service. Suppose you are creating a project and you want that your project should be in public domain, like other people can contribute in your project, other people can view your project. So this GitHub provides you the platform where you can put your codes so that other people can contribute, other people can view. So there is a difference between Git and GitHub. Git is a software tool that you are going to use for maintaining your records, and GitHub is a service that allow you to share your codes over public. Okay, so this Git and GitHub are the two basic terms. So I guess this is clear. What is Git and GitHub? Like I want you to respond something like none of the people are responding. Like then how I can judge whether you are knowing something? Yeah, any question? Okay, so like I'm continuing. Okay. So Git is a version control system. Now version control system means, in layman terms, it means that there will be a file which you are creating, you are modifying your file, then different versions of file is creating, again you are modifying the file, then other versions of files are creating. So Git helps to track each versions of file, each stages of files where you have modified, like in which time you have changed. Okay, so it's a software tool. And GitHub means repository site. Repository means collection of files or collection of projects. Okay, so basically there are two things, Git and GitHub. So we need to install Git in our laptop. So if you are using Windows, you can install Git Bash, and if you are using Linux, you can install Git for Linux. Okay, so I guess most of you have installed your Git and have GitHub account. If not, no need to worry. Like this video is recorded and it will provide to you, by using which you can perform some of the tasks which I'll be performing right now. Okay. So for installing it, I've already told, if you're using Windows, Git Bash is there, and Linux, Git Linux is there. Okay. So basically after installing Git, you need to tell Git who you are. Like you need to configure some of the properties like adding mail and name, because the moment you are going to change some portion of the files, and if you are going to check who is the person who are changing the files and all, then at that time your configuration will help you to know. Okay. So after this session, you can install your Git, you can make your account in GitHub and can perform some of the tasks which I will be performing right now. And this video will be provided to you, with help of which you can practice regarding Git and GitHub. Okay. So till here, any doubt? Okay. So like I want you to respond something, because it's not like I'm thinking that it's going one-sided and people will feel boring. So that's why I want you to respond. You can unmute your mic and you can say something, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the basic terms which I'm going to explain you in practical manner. Okay. So we have done most of the theories now, like what is Git, GitHub. So right now I'm going to concentrate on practical terms, like what is repository, staging area, commit and all. So let's start. Okay. So this will be the main part of this session. Like you are going to create your project. You are going to initialize your project in Git. Then you are going to transfer your project from your machine to GitHub account. So let's start. See, first of all, suppose like I'll be using Git Bash for it. Suppose like you have created a folder. Suppose this is the folder. Just I'll be renaming it. So your folder name is GitHub. So this is the folder name, and inside this folder you have your projects. Okay. So I'm going to use Git Bash. So to play with Git and GitHub, you must know some of the basic Linux command. Like suppose if I want to check where I am right now, so I'll be using pwd command. Pwd means your current directory, like where you are right now. Okay. So right now I'm in my home directory and I want to move in desktop area. So what I will do is that I'll be using a Linux command, that is cd desktop.
Sorry to interrupt, Harshit.
Okay.
Is the screen is visible to everyone? Hello.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Yes, Bhaiya.
You see the bash screen, right? Bash screen. Because he will write a lot of commands there. If you can't see what he's writing, you can't understand it. So, is it visible?
Yes, Bhaiya, it's visible.
Okay. Please continue, Harshit.
See, what you need to do is that if you don't have any Git install, or if you don't have any GitHub account, first task will be to,
Harshit, what can you do is you can just maximize the screen of the terminal, because the one who are using from mobile, they can see it. Yeah, good.
okay. So your first step will be to have your Git installed in your machine, and you need to make your GitHub account. After that, you need to perform these tasks which I am performing right now. Okay. So I'm using Git Bash. So basically, we need to know some of the basic Linux command, like pwd, which means that which directory currently we are. Like currently it's pointing to home directory. Home directory means there will be some different name for different people. Now after that, I need to move in desktop area. So what I will do, I'll write cd desktop. So these are the basic Linux commands which you can use. So see, I have moved inside desktop area. And if I'm going to write ls means it help you to view all the files which are there inside desktop. Okay. So these are the files which are there in my desktop area. Now inside desktop area, I've already created a folder. Okay, like the name of the folder is git_hub. So in this folder, there will be a project. Okay. So what I will do, I'll move inside this folder. Basically, you can use graphical user like drag and drop, but in terms of developer, it's better to control your system using terminal. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is that I'm moving from home directory to desktop and from desktop to my folder where I have kept my project. Right now it's empty. Okay. So I have moved inside that GitHub folder and I'm going to create a text document as my project. So we can use a Linux command known as touch t1.txt. So right now the task which I'm performing is completely basics of Linux. Okay. Right now I've not done anything regarding Git and GitHub. It's completely Linux part. Okay. So I've created t1.txt. If you are going to use ls, you will find that inside GitHub folder, there is a text document known as t1.txt. Now inside t1.txt, you need to write something. So what you can do is that you can go inside this GitHub folder and yes, you can check that I have created t1.txt. So inside this, you can click and you can write something. Okay. So suppose I'm writing.
Sorry to disturb you, Arshit. It will be better if you increase some font size.
Okay. Okay, leave this. We're using terminal only. Okay. So suppose I've created like t1.txt and right now inside this text document, there is nothing. So what I need to do is that I need to write something inside it. So in order to use this, I'll be using a Linux command known as vi t1.txt. What it means is that vi means Vim editor. There are various editors like Vim and Nano editor where you can edit your text. Okay. So this is the text area like where I will write something in t1.txt. So there are certain rules like by which you can control this Vim editor. Like first step will be you need to press I button, which will help you to move inside insert mode. Then you need to write something like, suppose this is the text document which I am writing. Okay. After that, you need to save it. I'll use :wq. This is a command. You can use Google and you can find out this type of commands. Okay. So now inside my text document, my name is Harshit Jain. So suppose I want to see what is there inside text document. So it will be this. So my name is Harshit Jain. So cat command is used to check what is there inside text document. So right now what I did was I have created a project known as text document with the help of terminal. Now next step will be to use Git. Okay, so Git is a software tool which you are going to use to track this t1.txt. So what I will do is that I'll make use of this command, git init. Okay, so now I've started the Git. Okay, so git init means you are initializing your GitHub folder as your local repository. Consider local repository as a repository or as a files in your machine. Okay, so this is known as a local repository. A folder is there and you are using Git to track that folder in your own machine. So with the help of git init, what I did was I have initialized that folder as a Git repository. Okay, so this is the role of git init. So I guess you have known what is git init. Okay, now the next command is git status. So git status help you to know what is the current status of your file. Whether, like, suppose Git is a human And right now, with the help of Git status, like we can check whether Git is aware of the text document or not. So currently, as I have written Git status, there is a red letter text. So red letter text means that Git is not aware of this t1.txt. Okay. So I guess up to this, you have known what is Git init and what is Git status. Like anyone having any doubt regarding this?
No, Bhaiya.
Okay. Okay. So I've used Git init, and next is Git status. So currently Git is not aware of this t1.txt. Now what I need to do is that I need to put this t1.txt in an area which help Git to track this file. Okay. Currently Git is not knowing that whether we have created t1.txt, whether we have created any project or not. So I want Git to know it. So in that case, what I can do is that I can write git add t1.txt. So git add t1.txt, what it will do is that it will move this text document to a staging area. So staging area, in layman terms, you can understand that it is an area from where Git will start to track the file. Like Git will start to keep account and status of each project which is there inside the folder. Okay. So git add t1.txt. Yeah, I'll be clearing the screen. Yeah. So what I did was I have written git add t1.txt. So it means that Git is aware of t1.txt. So again, I'm writing git status, and now from red color text, it changed to green color text. Okay. Yeah. So I've done up to this. Now the next step is we need to move this t1.txt from staging area to commit area. Okay. So initially you have created a folder, and inside that folder you have added your projects. Next step was git initialize. Like with the help of this git init command, you have made a local repository. You have implemented using Git as a software tool inside your folder. Then we have checked the status using git status command, which was red in color. It means that Git is not aware of the files. Now the next command was git add. Git add means from your local repository, that file went to staging area. So staging area means that area from where Git will start tracking all the files. Git will start keeping track and record of each and every file. So that's why it's green in color. Now next command is git commit. So git commit means any modifications. Like suppose you have created a project and you want something to be modified. Then before applying git commit, you can do whatever you want. Then after applying git commit, it will make your file to move in committed state. Means you can't modify at that state. Okay. So it's git commit -m. Then you need to write comments. Some of the comments, like the comment I'm writing is initial commit. So there are certain stages from local repository to staging area, from staging area to commit, and from commit we want our file to be in GitHub account. So this is the simple flow which I'm performing right now. Okay. So git commit initial. Okay. So this is the initial commit is the comment, and git commit is a command. Okay. Yeah. So this was the work of Git. Now, like, can anyone say whether I am able to send this t1.txt to my GitHub account or not? Like, I'm asking this question that from this portion, like, can I send this t1.txt to my GitHub account or not? Or like, if I want to do something more. So this is my question. Okay, Barnadeep has said that no. Yeah, it's correct. Like, because that GitHub account is not aware of this local repository. Okay. Yeah, it's correct. We need to connect that GitHub account to our local repository. So what I will do is that I'll open my GitHub account and I'll create new repository. So this is a GitHub account which provides services to your projects. So I'll write, suppose, git. This is the name of the repository, and I want my repository to be public. Like anyone can view, can edit my projects. Okay. So I'll be creating this repository. Yeah. So right now there is nothing in this repository, and I want that text document or that text file to be in this account. Okay. So what I will do is that I want to set up connection between this account to that terminal. So I'll copy this link. This is origin link, or in layman term, you can understand that this is a simple URL which will help to connect both the area in your machine and this GitHub account. Okay. So I'll do copy. So the command which I'm going to use for connection is git remote add origin and the link that I have copied. Okay. So this is the command which helps to provide a connection between this local repository and remote repository. Remote repository means your GitHub account. Local repository means your machine where you have created, where you have installed Git. So yes, like the connection has established by writing git remote, you can know. Yes, see, git remote, it means the output is like origin. It means that yes, your connection is established. This URL is renamed as origin. Okay, this URL is renamed as origin. Now I want to push this text document to my account. So what I will do is that I'll write git push origin master. Okay. So after writing this command, yeah. So git push means you want this t1.txt, you want this project to be pushed to your GitHub area. So if I'm opening this GitHub, I'll be refreshing this. Yes. So from your local machine, it went to t1.txt. Now any people can come and can modify, can add readme, can change the text. So this is the simple overflow regarding Git. So any doubt, like, okay, yeah, we'll be sharing some of the cheat sheet, some of the PPTs which will help you to.
Hello, Bhaiya.
Yes, yeah.
Hello, Bhaiya. We can add files directly at the add files option. So why do we need git commands?
See, basically, you can add file directly from your GitHub account. Yeah, it's correct. But sometimes you need, suppose your file is heavy, or sometimes that git command is used to track your files. Like suppose you have added 2 lines, you have added 3 lines. How you're going to know, like how many lines you have added, who is the author of that file. So to know something related to file or to keep track of that file, we need Git. So this is the advantage of Git, that it provides security, it provides better performance. Yeah, you can do directly drag and drop. But in terms of developer, it's better to control your whole system with terminal instead of doing drag and drop.
Okay, Bhaiya, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so this was the simple flow. The next step which I'm going to tell you is like how you're going to earn T-cert or how you're going to earn goodies during this Hacktoberfest. Okay. So basically we need to learn 2 more commands, that is git fork and git clone. So I guess this simple flow is clear to you. Like if not, no problem. We'll be sharing some of the PPTs and all which will help you. So any doubt up to this? Okay. So what you need to do to earn t-shirt and goodies is that you need to write Hacktoberfest Digital Ocean in Google, and you need to click on the link, second link. So this is the main website where you need to register yourself for participating or for celebrating this Hacktoberfest. So there are certain rules. Event details is also there. You can go through that. It is a celebration open to everyone, and you can change any repositories. Repository, I have already told, it's project or its collection of files. You can sign up anytime between October 1 and October 31. So these are certain things and certain rules. Okay, so I've already told that if you want to be a true contributor, then contribute a good amount of good optimized code instead of changing, finding semicolon errors and all. Okay, so you need to click on start hacking, and you need to sign it with GitHub. Okay, so you need the total 4 pull requests you need to generate. Pull request means that you need to pick some of the repository, you need to change something, and after changing something, you need to request to the owner of that repository that you have made some changes. Can you please merge my changes with your main project? Okay, so this is the meaning of pull request. I'll be explaining right now because I'll be doing practical regarding this. Okay, so basically you need to make 4 pull requests. 4 times you need to contribute publicly. Okay, so there are certain things that people will review, like moderators are there who will review your code, and well, if it is invalid, then it won't be under consideration. You need to do again. So you need to open this, and you need to sign up with GitHub account. Okay, and after that you can start contributing in any public repository. So right now I'll be contributing in DSC Nita. So this is the repository where you can contribute. So yeah, so there are various topics related to data structure and algorithm. You can contribute in any of the sections, or if you are coding enthusiast, you can contribute in every section, no problem. So there are certain topics like array, binary search. So what you can do is that you can write code related to array problem. But the main thing is write your own optimized codes instead of just copying and paste from Geeks for Geeks or from any other good platforms. So in these areas you can contribute. Okay, so how you are going to proceed, how you are going to contribute in it. So I'll be explaining right now. Okay, let's start. See, suppose you have opened this Hacktoberfest 2020, means you need to create your GitHub account, I've already told. And after that, you need to search for Hacktoberfest 2020 DSC Nita. Okay, and this will be like algorithms, arrays are there, and you need to contribute in it. So what you can do is that you can click on fork. So what fork means? Fork means that there will be a copy of this Hacktoberfest 2020 account in my GitHub account. So you can check that my GitHub account name is this, and the copy, the original copy of Hacktoberfest 2020 has been created in my account. Okay. Yeah, so this is not in DSC Nita Hacktoberfest account, it's in my account. Now, after that, what I need to do is that I need to push this project in my machine. Okay, so basically I need to use git clone. So what I will do is that, so step 1 will be go and search for this, then click on this fork. Fork means creating original copy of this account in your own account. After that, you can paste, you can copy this link. Okay, you can copy this link from this by clicking on the code, and you can copy this link, and you want this project in your own desktop. So what you can do is that you can open your Git bash. I'll be doing clear. Okay. So currently I am in this GitHub. So I want to move back in desktop. So what I will do is that I'll write cd. This is the command by which you can move from your GitHub folder to desktop area. So now in this desktop area, I want that project. Okay. So what I will do is that I'll write git clone. So git clone is a command by which you can have that project in your own machine. I'll do paste. Okay. Will be, yeah. So what I did was I've copied the link of this from my account. Okay. So that Hacktoberfest 2020 project is now transferring to my account, to my desktop. Yeah. So this is the project. Now you can contribute. Suppose I am opening this and suppose I want to contribute in graphs. So what I will do is that I'll do some of the questions regarding graphs, and I'll just insert that question with the help of problem. Remember that you need to comment your functions. Like, don't just code and like copy and paste and drag and drop this file inside your project. You need to comment each and every line, because it will help other people to know, to understand your code, so that other people can further do something, can further optimize your code, etc. Okay. So suppose I'm opening this. So I need to move in this Hacktoberfest 2020. I need to move in this project. So what I will do is that again I'll be typing cd. Up to this, any doubt? Like, up to this, any doubt is there? You can ask anything, like means any doubt, because I'm thinking that it's going one-sided. Okay, how can we contribute to the issues? See, basically, first of all, you need to search in which project you want to contribute. Okay, so suppose I want to contribute in this DSC NITA repository. So what I did was I have forked this repository in my account, and now from my account, what I will do is that I will clone it in my own machine, and I'll do some of the changes. And after that, after performing some of the changes, I will create pull request to the main owner of that repository. And if he loves this, he can accept, and yes, I have successfully completed one PR. So it will count as one PR by the moderator. So by this way, you can contribute. And regarding how can we contribute to issues and all, like you can raise your issues that this algorithm is missing by, yeah, like this, you can contribute. So any doubt up to this? Okay, so what I did was I have cloned the original copy in my repository. Now I am adding an algorithm. I'm adding a graph algorithm in this, like I've added already. Okay. So again, I need to repeat that same step. So I have moved inside this Hacktoberfest 2020 folder. Now what I will do is that I will write git status. So see, red signal is there. So I've already told red signal means that you have modified something and Git is not aware of the fact. Okay, Git does not know that whether you have modified or whether you have added something in that repository or not. Okay, so what you need to do, again, you need to write git add. You can write git add dot, which will move all the files in that folder to the staging area. So now you can write git status. So git status, yes, it's showing green signal, green colored text. It means that now Git is aware of what are the things you have included. So currently I've included graph creation algorithm in that repository. So basically you need to contribute in that repository. You can contribute in any algorithm, and minimum 4 pull requests is required for getting goodies and all from the owner. Okay. So again, next, what I will do is that I'll commit this. I'm writing git commit command. This is just the repetition of the simple flow, which I've already explained. So it's like added graph. You need to write, the comments must be proper, okay, informative, instead of writing that added an algorithm. So you need to take care regarding this also. So added graph creation algorithm. Okay. Now, if you want to know what does commit contains, you can write git log. So git log means how many commits have been created right now and what all commits are there. So this is the hash number. Each and every commit is associated to a unique number, and with the help of this unique number, we can track the status of each and every file. After forking it wrong. Okay. Up to this, any doubt? Okay. So after doing fork of that repository, I have cloned it in my machine, and now I have modified some of the code, added graph creation method, and I want this to be accepted by the main author of that branch. It means I want to generate pull request, and if that PR will be successful, and it will be judged by the moderator of this Hacktoberfest. If it is valid, then you have done one PR successfully, it means. Okay. So what I need to do is that I need to push this in my own account. Yeah. So git push origin master. I've already explained that it will push this, means after modification and all, after performing commit operations and all, it will push it in your GitHub account. Okay. Now, what I need to do is that I need to generate pull request, because I've added a graph creation algorithm in this DSA. So I need to generate pull requests. So how I can do is that I can click on this PR and I'll create this pull request. Yes, I've added a graph creation algorithm, and you can leave a comment. Yeah. So finally, I have added this code, this graph creation algorithm, and have generated a pull request to the maintainer of that repository. And if my pull request will be accepted, then they will merge in their main branch. Okay. So by this way, you can contribute and if your contribution is valid, then it will be taken as a consideration. Yeah, so this is all about Git, fork, and clone. So like what we have learned today is that we have learned about repository, what is Git, GitHub, then Git init, status, commit, Git fork, Git clone. Okay. So like this is all about how you are going to contribute in Hacktoberfest. So any doubt up to this? Further, there are, okay, can we contribute to the same repo, DSC Nita? Yeah, you can contribute to DSC Nita. So the main task of you is that if you don't have any Git installed or GitHub account, just do it and practice these basic things. And after that, start contributing at least minimum 4 and maximum you can contribute, no problem, in that DSC Nita repository. Okay, it will help you to go through the algorithms, plus it will help you to acquire these new skills. So this is all about basics and Hacktoberfest. Can you please tell us what kind of algorithm? You can contribute any algorithms. Like suppose in case of array, you can write the question, and you can even, after writing the question, you can write the code and you can comment each line of the code that what is the purpose of this function and all. So like this, you can contribute in array section. Any algorithm related to the topic. Graph will contain graph algorithms or graph problems. Like this, you can contribute. Further, there are more commands related to Git, like Git branch, like you can create separate branch and all. But for Hacktoberfest, it's enough. And you can even learn more regarding Git and all. Okay, so finally we came to a conclusion. So after this, I want that everyone should start contributing and contribute optimized and good codes. So just do some contributions and gain some experience regarding it. Okay. See, to the owner of that repository, an email will be generated and they will check the mail. The owner will check the mail and they will see that yes, someone has contributed in their repository, and they will check what are the contributions done by the people. And if they think that yes, it's good contribution, then they can merge it with their main project. So it's totally depending on the main author of the project, from where you are, like in which you are contributing. Yeah, yes, you can pull all of the four requests to the same repository, but your contribution must be not like you are finding some of the basic mistakes like semicolon and all. You are adding readme file, you are changing the comments of the code. Yeah, like
I want to ask if everyone is clear about how to contribute and whatever Harshit Bhaiya has told you. If you have any doubts regarding anything which is related to the open source contribution, either it's Hacktoberfest or not, you can ask.
Is there any first come first get rules? Yes, like first 70,000 participants will get t-shirt and stickers.
क्वेश्चन पूछना था मुझे.
हाँ बिल्कुल.
अगर मैंने पुल रिक्वेस्ट किया और ओनर ने मैं एक्सेप्ट कर लिया पुल रिक्वेस्ट को, उसके बाद अगर कोई दूसरा पर्सन भी इस रिपोजिटरी में कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है और फिर उसके बाद मुझे वो सारे कंट्रीब्यूशन फिर कैसे कर पाऊंगा अपने लोकल रिपोजिटरी में?
देखो, जब तुम क्लोन करोगे ना, तो वो जो तुम्हारा प्रोजेक्ट है वो तुम्हारे मशीन पे आ रहा है, ठीक. उसके बाद अब ये हो सकता है कि कॉन्फ्लिक्ट भी अराइज हो सकता है. अब जिस रिपोजिटरी पे या जिस फाइल पे तुम कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हो उस फाइल पे एट द सेम टाइम भी कोई कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकता है, ये प्रॉब्लम अराइज हो सकता है. तो देयर विल बी अ मर्ज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट which can be viewed by the owner, and what owner can do is that owner can select which all statements are perfect for like for the contribution and all. अब ऐसा merge conflict
Actually,
बहुत arise
I
हो
think
सकता है.
Ankur is trying to ask that if he has contributed some code, after his contribution, someone also has contributed some other code. So how can he get that code into his local Git, right?
Yes,
Ankur?
Bhaiya. Yes, Bhaiya, that was the question.
Basically you need to use git pull command. What git pull will do is that it will update the file in your machine completely from the main branch, like from the main area. What all changes other people have done, it will your area will get updated if you are using git pull command. So you need to use git pull command.
Git pull origin master.
Git pull, yeah.